be staying there long? Yes, hello there. Yes, welcome to the store. No, don't say it by that name. We like to call it a very upper-class, luxurious second-hand store. And this is where you bring items that you would like to sell, and perhaps I will in turn like to purchase from you. Yeah, are you going to stay there long? Well, you've gone beyond awkward now. Yes, come in the store and bring all that sorry state of whatever you've got in your hand with you as well, and we'll take a look at that, shall we? Yes, this is where you would bring it. Did you not just listen to what I said just then? Right. Welcome to our luxurious second-hand store, where you are able, or anybody but mainly upper-class, high society individuals, come in. They bring their upper-class, high society effects and things like that. It's more those sorts of people use this place as a sort of charitable thing where they bring these luxurious items in, and they know that they would like to see them go to a good home rather than just bring them in, because they obviously, so they bring the items in. I have a good look, I go wow, they shake my hand and they leave, and the process repeats itself, etc. You, on the other hand, did you read the sign at the front of our store? It just said no trash, or like, rubbish second-hand items. Well, unfortunately, in an area like this, bad second-hand items tend to be pretty hard to move on, or if people see them in my store, then they probably, just continue walking, and we can't have that for all the people that live around this area, let alone if any of the Farquhards make their way down here, then we certainly wouldn't want them to see any miscellaneous items in here. However, there is large scope for what I can take, what I can sell on, and being an area such as this, we get all sorts of unique items. There's many amazing stores around here, like we've got the suit stores, and encompasses tires, shirts and things like that, game stores and libraries and luxurious this and luxurious that, and all of these amazing things. So sometimes when an item is bought or made or something like that, it gets to a point in the person's life where they want it to move on. That's where I come in, and they bring it into me, and then I'm able to acquire this item and then sell it for extortionate prices for oblivious people, maybe such as yourself, but not so much yourself, if that makes sense. If I saw you preempting to come into the store here, I probably would have run out and put the close sign on there just quickly and gone out for a break or something. I mean, I know it's very late at night, so my break would have probably gone through all the night until you disappeared. But anyway, I noticed that you have some items with you which you would like to sell here. Indeed. Well, it's kind of the same philosophy as, say, for an antique store, for example, where an antique dealer would have the expertise to go and buy something. They will see something, and then they will see something that's worth an extortionate amount of money or something like that, and then they will offer a ridiculously low price to the person who is obliviously selling it, and then they will take it to their shop, and then they will sell it for an extortionately high price. We don't do that. We allow the customers to come to us, and then me, the expert here, will use my expertise to know if there's any value in there for me to sell here, and also value for you to take home some money with you as well. Okay, so is the system, is it sinking in a little bit? Are we on the same wavelength there? So I'm glad that you came to my store so late as well, after hours, and which is even better because no one even saw you come in here, so that's perfect. Have you been to a store like this before? Don't say the name. Don't say the name. No? Well, that makes your experience even better for me. I mean, for you. Definitely for you. Well, perhaps you'd like to put one of your first items down here. I have handy items with me here. One of them being my handy calculator, where I'm able to calculate all sorts of numbers and figures here which could be beneficial to you. Also, I will log anything that we exchanged today and write it all out for you, and you can take it back with you, etc., etc. And you know, the sort of formality. So that's what we've got here. Yep. And now direct yourself back there. Watch that over there. Watch that. Watch that. Yeah, keep going there. Keep going there. Watch your foot down there. Don't look at that either. Perfect. You're in the perfect position. Now, if you just remain there, relax. Let's see what you bought. If there's any value in what you bought for me. Well, I must say this is rather intriguing item that you've bought here. Now, I know I said we had a game store here, but you've taken it quite literally here, and I'm not entirely sure why you've bought it to my store. You believe you will make more money at my store than the game store? Of course you would. That's a right decision there. Excellent. Excellent thinking indeed. So I noticed you bought a PlayStation 5 console with you here, and has it been opened? There's no use lying to me. I can see the seal has also been broken here as well. So yes, it has been opened. Okay, but I can probably tell you at the moment, just by the look at the box, and what sort of condition this thing is going to be in. However, there's some things to think about here. This PlayStation, of course, is now sort of reaching beyond the middle part of its years until it's upgraded, etc., etc. Let me have a look here. Okay, there's a box. Yeah. And how much would you say you've played it? Okay, I see. Why am I examining the box so much? Well, it's because the box would be the selling point for the PlayStation 5 that's in here. Now, I trust that there aren't any marks or anything like that. It's in a brand new condition. Still in its cellophane. You just thought you'd open it up, did you? I see. Okay, well, I'll take your judgment for that, because it would be easy to return it to you, shall we say. Right, and we've got to make sure that the box is in a perfect condition. One thing I will notice here, you can probably tell, it seems to have warped just a little bit down here, and it's not entirely a nice straight edge there anymore. This is just a general sign of age, and perhaps this hasn't been stored in a perfect location. Maybe you haven't handled this with gloves. I notice a little bit of dust on there. Things to take into consideration here. Okay, so I'm going to put that down there. I beg your pardon? One does not talk about facts or figures so abruptly and openly as you. We have to discuss with one another, come up with the appropriate price which will be beneficial for both of us. So, I am an expert in these sorts of things. I'm very familiar with the gaming store here. I don't know if that's where you acquired this PlayStation 5. It was, I see. Okay, and the tech store, did you not think about getting it cleaned at the tech store? No. Okay, I'm just coming up with a couple of figures here. So currently, what price did you purchase that PlayStation 5? Just shy of over £500 from the game store here. That makes sense. Okay. So if you just bear with me, a figure is being put together here. Right. And going by how much the PlayStation 5s are worth at the moment. There has been a decrease in price because it's been up for a little while. However, it's PlayStation 5, so, and at this day and age the prices go up for literally everything for no reason. So that means the price will have gone up a little bit there, but then it's back in here. You would have problems selling it. The box is damaged for me. I might have a little difficulty for selling it because it's not really catered for my usual, shall we say, who always come in the store here. So let me just write down a figure here. Let me know if you would be interested in it. Okay. There we go. Did you see it? Okay, that's good. I noticed that how excited you got when you saw all of those hundreds be laid there, but don't you worry, there'd be nothing near that amount. So for that PlayStation and what I believe would be the correct price for that, I think somewhere in the region of 100 would probably suffice for you very much. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to place that 100 there for you. Okay, there it is. So you maybe you'd like to consider that. So I'm just going to take this 100 here as well. Okay, have a nice listen. It's a nice 100 there. Sounds really good, doesn't it? Really nice. I'm going to put that next there. Okay, so there's 200 there, but this 100 and this 100 are separate, meaning that this is not actually with this one. It's just next to it. That would be your 100. That would be mine 100. That PlayStation would be mine to sell on, and you would have that cash immediately. Okay, so perhaps you would like to take that one, and yeah, so I'll just, yeah, would you like to take that and just confirm the transaction there? Don't touch my hand. Excellent, excellent, great. We're off to a good start. I beg your pardon. Of what item do you have? Wow. Wow. So you're telling me that you have a screen-used helmet from the original Star Wars movies. Let me just hear you straight. So from Shepperton Studios, was that? From the original Star Wars movies. You have a helmet from that, an original one. Right, and do you know how much that would be worth? I see, quite a lot I would imagine. Yeah, just down here. Oh, I see. I see. Bless you so much, honestly. Really? Okay. So I'm just going to place that there. Okay. Now I don't wish for you to call me an expert or anything like that in the world of fandoms and things like that. But I think any imbecile could probably tell you that this isn't a screen-used helmet from the original Star Wars movies. This is actually just a mere replica of a helmet which was used in those films, but this certainly isn't an original. I don't know what quite gave you that impression there. Where did you acquire this by any chance? So you thought that you purchased an original helmet from the local game store here. How much did you pay for it? Well, 10 grand. That's quite a lot. Yeah, so this isn't an original, and I don't think it would be worth that much. Possibly along the lines of 50 there, but I mean, what have we got in there? Let's see. So it's all in a pretty good condition, as I can see there. Everything's looking pretty nice. The visor, the guards on the insides are all looking pretty good in there. But I can't avoid the fact that I too would have to make money from this particular item here. Okay, so the box does look great, and you've got to ask yourself, if it was an original, why would it be in a souped-up box like this? I mean, I'm not saying it's an indication of your intelligence or anything like that, and I wouldn't want to be detrimental in presuming that there would be something wrong with your intelligence for thinking something like that. However, one must consider the fact that there could possibly be something wrong, that you were so oblivious to think that this was actually an original from the movies, and the fact that you thought you'd buy it as well. So 50 is what I think it's worth. However, it does look really good. But I might have a little problem selling it, that's the only thing. So what I'm going to do, perhaps you'd like to have a nice listen to this again. Okay, there's all sorts of things you can do with this 100. And maybe you'd like to go out for a luxurious dinner or something and get starters. Or perhaps you'd like to go on a holiday. And when I mean a holiday, perhaps you'd like to just go to a holiday but spend all your money on a taxi or something like that. Or perhaps you would just like to go and feast or do whatever you want, or have a nice day out or something like that. All sorts of things you do with that 100. Now, because this is worth probably about £50, what I'm going to do, I'm going to offer you 100 there, okay? But that's only because I've taken into consideration the previous acquisition, shall we say, that we just made there. So I'm going to give that 100 to you if you would like to accept it. I'll just look away there right now. Excellent. It's a pleasure doing business with you here. I'll tell you what, we'll fill that out later. So I see you've got another item here. Right, maybe you'd like to explain just a little bit about this one. Wow. Really? So you have an original 1700s bottle. I see. And what sort of condition in this? It's a superb condition. Well, I'm most intrigued to see this. Okay, this one here. We'll be extra careful, of course. I mean, for something that old, you've wrapped it up incredibly well. With its very own cork as well. Do you think this is an original as well? Of course you do. Okay, so you believe that this cork is from the 1700s, do you? I see. This cork right here, you think is a cork from 1700s, and no doubt probably on Jack Sparrow's ship on the Black Pearl. Is that what you think? It could be. I see. I see. Okay, we'll just put that one there. Right, so I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news for you, but taking an examination of this bottle and the sort of mint superb condition that it's in at the moment, I regret to inform you that this bottle isn't from the 1700s. Okay, it's probably from a few years ago by the looks of it. And I don't know if you looked at the sill like that, but I think that's the mark of a prop maker there as well. If you look at the bottom there, which you might not you might have missed it, but it even says who it was made by and also the year 2020. See, so there's a couple of indicators here which would help you to note, or help you know what sort of year this is from. So I'm not quite sure if you're delusional. I'm not quite sure if you're trying to get as much money as possible, in which case I applaud you for thinking it's slightly outside the box. However, it is flawed. Or I'm not so sure if you just generally want to believe that this is a 1700s bottle and you've just got a great imagination. I think that one's more fun, so we'll go along with that. So perhaps I can see what I can do for you here. Okay, something like this in an area like this as well, for a brand new bottle like that, might be something which I can use to sell an extortionate price for the people who would want fancy crap like this. I'm looking at, let me just make some calculations here. Okay, so if I was going to one of the Lord's houses with empty bottles perfect for whiskey or rum or something like that, and says original made and in the style of 1700s, we could charge probably about £5,000 for something authentically made by an artisan. So, I think I've got a little figure here for you. I think this is going to interest you here. Okay, so for this bottle, which granted it is exceptionally well made, so I have some money with me here which I'd like to offer an exchange with you for this particular item here, so you can make some money for yourself and do some amazing things with it. So can you just hold that there for me? Excellent. Yeah, I'm still going to hold on to the other end because I don't want you taking it. Okay, so I'm going to take that one there. I'll take that one there. That one. That one. That one. That one. And what I'm going to do, these 200s, I'm going to give to you. Okay? I'm going to be exceptionally generous and give it straight to you right there. So if you accept it, just take it from me and we'll confirm the deal there. That's perfect. A wise decision for sure. Let's see. We'll just place that one there. Okay. So you've brought one more item with you. That's so great. I see it's down here. I see there's a little bit of a theme going on here, almost as if you've had a sudden realization that you are in fact not as good as you think you are and purchased the wrong things. Okay. Yourself a Ferrari Thrustmaster PlayStation racing wheel here. So you consider yourself a little bit of a racer, do you? Like to play games, do you? Yeah, think you're the best, do you? I think you're a professional Formula 1 driver now, do you? I see. Okay, well, I'm sure you are all of those things, but I'm pretty sure reality kicked in at some point and made you realize that you're not any of those things, and you're in fact terrible at it, and hence why it has made its way in here, because you no longer have any use for it. Would that be hitting the mark ever so slightly? I thought I'd be in the region there. Okay, so I can tell already by the superb condition of this, I'm not even going to bother to open it. Okay, there's a lot of trust that we share, and I can usually tell instantly if I'm being lied to. So this is in perfect condition, isn't it? Excellent, that's great. So you haven't been as long in the business as I have without knowing these certain attributes you have with people. Okay, I'm a people's person. I just seem to get on well with so many people, and that's why I always have people coming in. Don't say the name. Don't say it's a second-hand store, okay? Why do I have it on outside the shop? Well, obviously to attract more customers in the store, obviously. But let's not digress. The fact that this is pretty much in a brand new mid condition, and I feel like I might be able to move this along. I know there's a lot of gamers in the area, tech savvy enthusiasts and things like that, or perhaps someone who don't really have a clue and might be able to fob this off, as you say, as a real Formula One cars drivers will. However, if I could reach someone as gullible as you, then I could probably make an extortionate amount of money with this. Okay, so I'm just going to come up with some figures here. I'm just going to touch the box around here. Okay. Just going to touch the box around here. And on the top here. Yes, okay. So I was going to sell that as a real Formula One. Drivers of all Formula One cars are exceptionally expensive, so at least 20 grand for something like that. Don't want to attract too much attention, so for 25 grand. Real Formula One, real boxed in Thrustmaster for an authenticity. I see. So I'm going to place that there, and I've come to the realization that we might actually have potential buyers for something like this. And occasionally we have, or actually people who are very like-minded to yourself who come into this store, and I'm sure would take a fine interest in something like this. However, they are few and far in between, but the numbers are rising. I'm in communication and good friends with all the other stores in this area here, and we've noticed a gentle incline in, well, let's just say people a bit like yourself who have a sporadic interest, a spontaneity in thoughts and ideas which could be conceived as unwelcome to someone like myself, but who might have an interest in something like this. So upon careful consideration, I think I could probably make an absolute fortune with this. This is quite a nice piece that you brought into the store. Don't say the name. Yes. Well, okay, so how about we make a little transaction here? I'm going to place this here in my already purchased section. Okay, now I'm going to come up with the figure here. There we go. Right. You just fill the edge of that for me there. And now don't touch it. Okay, so I'm going to take some hundreds out here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because I'm feeling exceptionally generous at the moment, and I really think I'm going beyond generosity right here. Honestly, this is really unheard of, but I seem to really like you. There's just something about you which I really like, and I think, well, I'm grateful for you bringing in your peculiar selection of items which you want to sell on to a happy owner. So I'm going to place this one here, okay? In fact, I'm just going to wave it there, and then I'm going to give it to you. So if you start taking one, then we can secure the transaction and I can hand them over to you. Okay, that's great. There's one. Excellent. There's two. Excellent. and there's 3, and the transaction's been made, and you've taken the cash, so that's a nice 300 there for you at the moment. Excellent. Well, I'd like to say thank you so much for bringing in your items here. I hope you enjoyed your visit too. Do say the name. Well, we're open after hours because we tend to have the philosophy that people tend to be just a little bit more sleepy, so either they relax. I've had people come in here trying to get rid of things that they don't want and want to pass on. They've actually fallen asleep. I've had to actually lift them. That's why we have, if you noted, well, we used to have a bench outside the store, but it started getting people sitting on there, which of course I didn't like, but I used to put them on that bench there. When they wake up and then, you know, I put the money in their pocket, something like that, and the transaction still be made, but they find it relaxing and sleepy and an enjoyable place to go to. And there's many places like that around this area that you can go late hours. We're all kind of on the same page around here, and wanting to create a relaxed atmosphere for all of our customers, clients, patrons, things like that. Okay, so I'm so glad that you bought your items in here today, and I will try my hardest to try and shift on those items for you. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's not really beneficial for me, but I'm glad you've got some money there to spend wisely on. Okay, excellent. Well, let me just ask, do you have any jewelry or something like that, something of interest, big diamonds, emeralds, or something along those nature that a normal person would bring? Oh, no, okay. You have a gold magical ring. I would be called the One Ring by any chance? Okay, just get out of my store now, please. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Nice to see you. Enjoy your money. Take care. Cheerio. Don't call that name second-hand store. Second-hand.